Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm your host, Art Eftekhari. Really appreciate the support. Glad to have you back. And before we get things started, get to our website. The address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We got the links to all the best European, Asian, and United States friendly bookmaker sites. Our bookmaker guide is available for you to download, so hurry up and download it as soon as you can. Now, let's get things started off with our A to Z sports betting lingo. Our concept for today is overbroke. Now, what does overbroke mean? Well, that is when the book results in a loss for the bookmaker. All right, don't forget, overbroke. Also, before we get to our main agenda, make sure you check out our blogs. Dan's working hard with his cricket blog, and Patrick knows his American sports. So, show the gentlemen some support. Read their blogs as soon as you can. Now, as we're getting closer to our main agenda, first I'm actually going to be visiting some football that I rarely ever do any homework or research on, and that is the English National League. I'm at williamhill.com. That's www.williamhill.com. Look for the hashtag #YourOdds. This is for the English National League. And yes, this is the league right below the professional English Football League system. So, let's break that down real quickly. You got the English Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two. So the teams that get relegated from League Two go to English National League. You could basically call that semi-pro football. All right, so we got some special odds here for the hashtag #YourOdds from William Hill. First one. Salford promoted an Adam Rooney to be the top league goal scorer, 4-1 odds. And also dead heat rule applies. 9-2 odds for Torgi to be promoted from National League South. 6-1 odds for Salford to win National League and Adam Rooney to be the top National League scorer. Once again, dead heat rules apply. 6-1 for that. Next, Lee Shaw of Chesterfield to be the top National League scorer for this coming season, 16-1 odds there, and 28-1 odds for Nico Muir to be the top National League scorer. Now, going back to what I just mentioned, 2 times you heard the name Adam Rooney. All right, well, who is Adam Rooney? He is a striker from Ireland. He's 30 years old. He's had a pretty decent career. He's been playing in places like England and also Scotland. His most recent spell was with Aberdeen of the Scottish Premiership, and he scored 66 goals in 151 appearances from 2014 to 2018. So he was just recently signed by Salford City, signed a 3-year contract a couple weeks ago. Now, this has led to some other owners of teams in the National League that basically accused Salford of buying a place in the English Football League. Rumor here shows that Rooney is reported to earn £4,000 a week playing for Salford. So clearly we're seeing this team Salford wanting to get to the English Football League. And remember, the English Football League is basically, starting at League 2. After that you want to get promoted to League 1, then to Championship, and of course everyone wants that prize to get promoted to the English Premier League. So let's see how Salford City does for this coming season in the National League. Will they get to the Football League? So keep your eyes peeled on that. I know I definitely will. Get to williamhill.com as soon as you can to find out more. And before we continue, like I said earlier, get to our website. The address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We have tips on how to register, bet, and withdraw, and our bookmaker guide is available for you to download. So go ahead and do that. I want you to become an expert in this entire online betting process. Now, I'm still at William Hill, but I want to explain something that I consider to be very exciting. As you all know, the 2018 World Cup just finished, but we're about to see a new era of international football, and I think this is something that a lot of you football fans can be really excited about. You know, there's been a lot of international friendlies over the years where they're not very exciting. You know, some teams don't really bring their best squads. But I'm thinking that UEFA, you know, the powers that be for the European Football Association, have come up with a really awesome idea. So let me just get right to it. So all European national teams will be involved in this. And divided up by ranking, they have been divided into 4 different leagues. League A, League B, League C, and League D. And in each league, you have 4 groups of teams. And like I said earlier, these leagues of teams, of course, the higher you go, the higher ranked these teams are. So in League A, you have 4 groups of 3 teams. Now, the top team in each group will qualify to the Nations League finals that will take place in June 2019. So out of those 4 teams, there will be semifinals. The team that wins gets that trophy to be Nations League champions. The teams that finish second place stay put. Not a surprise. And the teams, though, that finish third, last in the group, get relegated to League B. Okay, and so the next time Nations League comes, who will be those teams that replace those relegated teams? Well, you guessed it. The teams that finish first place in the 4 groups of Nations League B. Now, let's go over those groups right now. In Group 1, you have Germany, France, and Netherlands. Entertaining group there. You have the current World Cup champions, the previous World Cup champions, and with Netherlands, well, just Netherlands were the 2010 runners-up, but, you know, they have some improvement to work on. Group 2, Belgium, Switzerland, and Iceland could be an exciting group. Group 3, Portugal, Italy, and Poland. Looking forward to that one. And Group 4, Spain, England, and Croatia. And I think everyone is looking forward to that rematch between England and Croatia after that semifinal loss for England against Croatia, 2-1. You know, England was so close to getting to that World Cup final. And with that, like I said earlier, I'm at WilliamHill.com. Let's take a look at the outright odds for who's favored to win the first ever edition of UEFA Nations League. First, you got Spain, 10-3 odds, Belgium, 7-2, France, 9-2, Germany, 11-2, England, 8-1, as well as Italy, Croatia, 14-1, Portugal, 16-1, and of course the bigger outsider teams in here, Switzerland, 25-1, Netherlands, 33-1, Poland, 40-1, and Iceland, the 66-1 outsiders. So, like I said earlier, you know, I'm really looking forward to how this Nations League inaugural edition will work out. I think it's going to be a new, exciting era in international football. Like I said before, in the past, there were a lot of friendly matches that were not really exciting. So we're going to have to see how this turns out. And now you're probably wondering, who are the teams in League B, League C, and in League D? Well, I'll tell you what, in the next edition of the Bookmaker Podcast, I'll be happy to talk to you about the teams in League B. So you're just going to have to wait. Like I said, let's go over those teams once again in League A. In Group 1, Germany, France, and Netherlands. Group 2, Belgium, Switzerland, and Iceland. Group 3, Portugal, Italy, and Poland. And Group 4, Spain, England, and Croatia. And with that, everybody, it is time to wrap up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. But I want to be quick to tell you that I really am looking forward to the next edition of the Bookmaker Podcast so I can talk more Nations League football. And if you want to get some more insight about the matchups coming up, and I'm sorry, that's probably one thing I forgot to mention, Nations League will begin on September 7th. So take a look at the Mr. Bookmaker football blog so you could have some more insight as to who is favored to win these matches to kick off the first ever edition of UEFA Nations League. Once again, everyone, thank you for the support. Make sure you check out the Mr. Bookmaker football blog, and also check out Dan's cricket blog and Patrick's American sports blog. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.